Hey guys, what's up? Saludo Bassin here. This is my first ever YouTube video, so I thought I'd do a quick lure review on some crankbaits that I've been trying out here lately and having good luck on, and show you a couple little tips on maybe some crankbait maintenance, about changing out some hooks, and maybe a little bit of tuning. So here we go. Okay guys, so these are some crankbaits here I've been having some good success on. Some of you may recognize this brand. This is the H2O Express brand that Academy Sports and Outdoors sells. Specifically, we're going to be talking about the Model S crankbait. It's a small crankbait, weighs in at about a 1/4 ounce, comes in a variety of different finishes, and originally I had a square bill version of this thing, and I lost it to a good sized bass. He broke me off the other morning, and went to go replace the bait, and they had discontinued that model. They used to make this in a square bill. I believe they may have reintroduced it as the CURL ultralight crankbait model. This is the closest thing I could find to it. As you can tell here, it's got 3D eyes, 3D gill plate, and I don't know if you can tell on camera here, there is a little bit of hatching, like cross hatching, kind of like you'd see on a Lucky Craft here. Circular split ring line tie, which I'm not a huge fan of. I prefer the oval type, but I'm not going to be too picky about it. And then the lip is similar to a Strike King, but if you'll look, here, the lip isn't quite square. It's a little bit rounded on the edges, but it has a very, very similar action to what I would call a true square bill. It bounces off cover really, really good. Has a really nice wobble to it, and the rattles in this thing are awesome. I don't know if y'all can hear that, but instead of like a traditional rattle, it's almost more like a knocker. And in the pond that I've been fishing in over the past couple days, I'm dealing with a really muddy, really stained water that's, you know, probably less than 6 inches visibility, and particularly this blackback chartreuse with the red 3D eyes and the orange belly. I've been having really good luck on, between that color where they can actually see it in that dirty water and the knockers in this thing. I've been having really, really good luck. So I love this bait. I've thrown this thing pretty much exclusively crankbait wise for the last 2 days. And this morning I got to my spot probably around just a few minutes before 9 o'clock, and I had 2 fish before I was there for even 5 minutes. So I really, really like this, guys. It's a really, really good, affordable crankbait. My only complaint with it, as I'm hooked here, I've already changed the hooks on this one. Excuse me. I've already changed the hooks on this one. I changed this one and this one earlier today to some Gamakatsu short shank treble extended wide gap hooks. Big fan of Gamakatsu hooks. To me, there's not a better hook out there. I really like the short shank and the extended wide gaps. I was having trouble yesterday staying hooked up to fish. I actually lost 2 on this guy yesterday, and then today, after I changed the hooks on it, I landed every single fish that I got hooked into. Had no problems there. But they come with, this one still has the original hooks on it. They come with VMC hooks on them from the manufacturer, which I'm not a huge fan of. You'll also find VMC hooks on this KBD Strike King square bill, and a number of other baits. Not a big fan of them, so I like to upgrade them on these guys. That's my biggest complaint with these. But at the price point, you can't beat these baits. They're only $2.99. Sometimes you can find them on sale for like $1.99, sometimes even less than that. They come in great finishes, great colors. I've not had any problems with finishes chipping off or anything like that. At this point, I do recommend you replace the hooks, which I'm getting ready to show you how to do. Okay guys, to change these hooks out, what you're going to do is you basically only need 3 things. Obviously, you need your bait, you need the hooks that you're going to replace them with. In this case, I'm going to use Gamakatsu short shank EWG treble hooks, and a pair of forceps. That's all the tools you need, is just a pair of forceps and a little tip. especially the Gamakatsu. I'm not really sure about the other manufacturers because I pretty much use Gamakatsu exclusively. They make them two different ways, or they sell them two different ways actually. They come in a little package like this, looks just like that, and they make them, and they come in the loose box. Go with the loose box if you can find them. They cost the exact same amount, but you get twice the hooks. As you can see, this came with 12 hooks, and this came with 6 hooks. So, little tip there for you. Okay, guys, so you're going to want to take your bait, and I'd recommend you start with the back treble hook for a couple of reasons. One, it's obviously back here on the tail of the bait, and it's a little bit more aggravating to get off, so I recommend that you deal with it first for the simple reason that this split ring can basically circle all the way around or whatever. There's more movement in here. With this front hook, you can actually kind of pin the hook and the ring against the belly of the bait, and that kind of helps you get it off. You can do it either way you do it, or either way you would like. But I would recommend starting with this back hook first. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and find where the ring starts, find the opening of the ring, which is going to be really hard to see on camera. I don't know if you can see that at all, but try and find the opening of the ring, and then take your forceps and then don't pinch the entire ring, but just the very, very beginning, and kind of open it up just a little bit. I've already screwed up. I apologize. All right. You want to have your treble. In this case, I'm right-handed, so I do it left to right. If you're left-handed, you can do it right to left. Just do it whichever way will be easier for you. But just take your forceps and just barely pinch that split ring. And then take your hook and try not to poke yourself. You want to kind of pull on the forceps to spread the ring a little bit. There you go. And that'll get it started. And then what I would suggest doing, don't take this hook all the way out yet. Go ahead and take your second hook. And what this will do, you've already started, like you've gotten your existing hook past where you've spread the ring apart. Now take your replacement hook, and where the eyelet of the hook is sitting between the two halves of the split ring, you'll create a little gap there. So basically you're going to take the eyelet of your hook, push it in that little gap, and that should get you started. And this is really hard to do on camera. I apologize if this quality kind of sucks. And it may be easier to actually take it out of the forceps. Do this very carefully because obviously you don't want to hook yourself. Shoot. There we go. Okay. And now, once you get it started, you want to be very careful not to undo the work you just did, but very slowly work that all the way around. using your replacement hook to push the other hook along, and as you can see, that old hook just fell out. Boom. That's one hook replaced. So now we just got to do the other one, the front one, the exact same way that we just did the back one, and we'll be done. Here you can see the forceps being used to open half of the coil of the split ring. Once the split ring is open, maneuver the hook to where it forms a gap between the two coils. Carefully take your replacement hook and insert the eyelet into the gap formed by the existing hook between the coils. Rotate the split ring until the replacement hook pushes the old hook out of the split ring. Okay guys, now we've got both our hooks replaced, and I apologize for any lack of video quality or me maybe accidentally working up here where I'm out of frame. I'm trying to shoot this on my phone because I'm new to this YouTube thing and I don't have a GoPro or any sort of professional camera equipment. So I might try and take some still shots that'll kind of help you guys picture what I'm talking about. But I'm going to show you one other thing here real quick. If you notice on the lip of this crankbait or whatever, here's your line tie, and here's a little tiny like eye bolt, or eye, whatever you want to call it, that the split ring feeds through, that actually screws into the body of the bait this way. And I'm going to show you how to tune a crankbait here real quick. And the reason I'm showing you this specifically is with these cheaper Academy brand baits, or occasionally you'll even see it with some older Strike King baits or some other crankbaits and stuff like that, where they don't run true out of the box. For the most part, I'm really pleased with this H2O Express brand, especially for as cheap as they are. Out of the box, generally they run true. Occasionally you'll get one that's a little bit wonky, so I'm going to show you how to adjust that. What you'll do is you'll tie your bait on, throw it out there, reel it back in, and then reel it in to where you've got good visibility on the bait and you can actually see which way the bait is running, whether it's running left or it's running right. Another way to check it is throw your bait straight out, dead in front of you, point your rod tip right at where the bait's at, and just reel it straight in. And you want to watch your line. Sometimes you'll see your line veer to the left or veer to the right. That means you have a crankbait that's not running true. How you do that is that not the split ring, but the little tiny eyelet that the split ring passes through that goes into the body of the bait. Basically, you're going to take a pair of pliers or a pair of forceps or whatever, clip onto that guy. If you're running left, you want to bend it right. If you're running right, you want to bend it left. Not a whole lot, but just little itty bitty teeny tiny micro adjustments until you get it where it's running pretty much dead on. Okay guys, so that was my first ever YouTube video on the review of the H2O Express Academy Model S crankbait, and a couple little tips on how to change hooks on pretty much any kind of hard bait, and how to tune your crankbaits to get them to run true. Again, I apologize for any lack of quality video wise or me being out of frame. I'm new to this YouTube thing, so bear with me, and hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks very much for watching.